Ravens flock. The flock rundown is the place to be. My man Ryan has been a lifelong Ravens fan since he was born. So I'm telling you now, it's about to go down. The podcast, the flock rundown. Ravens, baby. Nothing gets better than waking up and wondering how high we can fly. Tune in.
Motionless brainwaves attempt to swim their way to sense, can't tame the untamed.
Appreciate you, Ray. What's up, Ravens fans? My name is Ryan, and welcome back to another episode of the Flock Rundown post-game edition. The Ravens beat the Cleveland Browns 28-3. It was never even close. Shout out to JYE Baby 2A Tactical, or Jai Baby 2A Tactical. I'm not sure how that's pronounced, but he nailed the guess. 131 yards rushing for the team, and that's exactly what it was. So I already replied to your YouTube comment. Just shoot me your info. But hell of a guess. 131 yards rushing on the ground is way more than the Browns have been letting up. I mean, the Cleveland Browns had the number one defense in the NFL, and they let up 75 yards, 55 yards, 26 yards. And then the Ravens come in and put up 131. They're able to control the game on the ground. Lamar Jackson absolutely balled. 186 yards passing, 2 passing touchdowns, both to Mark Andrews. And then Lamar had 27 yards rushing with 2 rushing touchdowns as well. So 4 touchdowns on the day. He had 142.5 passer rating. Just incredible. Lamar was decisive. He only threw 19 passes. He was 15 of 19. So not throwing a ton. We definitely ran a lot. And a lot of that too could be the lead that we had. The whole second half, I thought we were pretty conservative with play calling, but with how good our defense was playing, especially against our rookie quarterback that the Browns had to throw in, I kind of felt bad for him multiple times throughout the game. But Cleveland just had no threat of scoring, to be honest with you. So I don't mind the conservative second half calling. We went really conservative at the end of the Houston game in week 1 as well, and I didn't like it as much just because Houston was able to move the ball. And you don't want to go too conservative if the opponent is able to move the ball on your defense well, because you can let them right back in the game. You could give them life by having too many 3-and-outs. But in this particular game, I thought that was a smart way to approach it. It's obviously not as entertaining. We'd like to see Lamar just keep rolling and this offense just keep putting up a ton of points in the second half and things like that. But I'm glad that we just kind of ran out the clock, made sure we didn't turn the ball over. Turnovers early in the game were once again a big problem. Lamar had a miss exchange snap with Hill. I think that was on Lamar. He kind of tossed it at him, and that was not smart. And we're way too careless in the beginning of these football games, week after week with the fumbles. But that was pretty much the only miscue. You know, there wasn't a lot of issues. I mean, the offensive line had trouble blocking, of course, you know what I mean? The Browns' pass rush is ridiculous. Myles Garrett, Zadarius Smith got hurt early in the game, but he came back. Myles Garrett also got banged up, but they were still out there. They were still disruptive. I thought the line got better as the game went on. We lost Morgan Moses in the game, so Falele had to step in, but the line got better as this game went on. Lamar had some time, was able to connect deep on Zay Flowers on that end of the first half possession that he also ended up throwing a touchdown to Mark Andrews, but Lamar was able to get some time, buy some time with his legs. He didn't run a ton. I mean, 27 yards on the ground is not a lot. He was just kind of taking what the defense gives him, and the run game was incredible. Gus Edwards was running the ball well. Justice Hill looked really explosive. I can't wait to see Keaton Mitchell in this run game. Justice Hill had a lot of space, especially on the counters and the cutbacks. It was a way to kind of counteract this defensive line and how good they are. So I love what I saw from the run game and those guys. Melvin Gordon came in, stepped up, had a big run where he almost scored on, and then Lamar gave him a nice soft wheel route pass that Melvin Gordon was able to convert on. So just an all-around great day, great win. It feels good to be 2-0 in the division, especially when the Bengals got absolutely blown out. They do not look good. The Steelers got blown out. Kenny Pickett went down with a knee injury, and we play them next week, so I'm sure we'll be talking about that a ton throughout this week. But the offense was really able to get going, surprisingly, against this number one defense. You know, I wasn't as surprised that our defense had success against the Cleveland Browns in this game, especially with a rookie quarterback. We thought Watson might play, but he didn't end up playing, so they went with DTR, and he had a rough day. He looked like it was his first game, and this defense was making him pay for everything. He took a ton of big hits. Roquan Smith, Clowney was all over him. Clowney wasn't finishing a lot of plays. You know, we've seen that with Odafe Owe too, but Clowney's just so disruptive. He's getting to the quarterback consistently. He's blowing through this line, and he is an underrated signing. I mean, for $2 million, we're getting top-level production from Jadeveon Clowney. He's motivated. He's balling. Kyle Van Noy was showing up early in this game, made a lot of smart reads, and I think he'll only get better as he gets more comfortable and gets his feet under him. I mean, he hasn't been playing football, so Kyle Van Noy, I think, is going to add a lot to this defense and may add some more stability, at least into like setting the edge and making the right reads than we had with David Ojabo. David Ojabo is probably going to come back, but he's on IR right now, so we're not going to see him for at least 4 more games. And I think them signing Kyle Van Noy, he's going to be able to step in and really keep the defense where it was, if not even a little better. I think David Ojabo obviously provides a lot more upside in the pass rush, especially as he goes through his career. I'm not writing David Ojabo off by any means. He just got banged up, you know. Half our team's banged up. But we were able to really persevere today and get through these injuries and next man up. Especially on the defensive side of the ball, our secondary was getting banged up in this game. We lost Worley, we lost Jalen Armour Davis, and then Arthur Mullet got hurt there at the end. And we were plugging Seymour back into the slot and Stevens and Darby on the outside. I mean, there's no way that we thought this cornerback room would hold up the way they're holding up. So shout out to them. Shout out to Mike McDonald. Shout out to this entire defense. Kyle Hamilton had an interception. And this defense was just feasting today. I mean, 3 points allowed. I can't wait to see what they look like when they get all these healthy bodies back. Same with the offense, too. You know, we were missing Odell, Rashad Bateman, Ronnie Stanley. Then Morgan Moses goes down, and it's just like, next man up. Let's keep going. We're able to still control the game, still make enough plays. I just thought that the entire team, outside of maybe a sluggish start to the offense, the entire team just played lights out. Lamar was able to put the team on his back in the passing game, make some plays happen to Zay Flowers. He wasn't insanely involved, but that deep catch was huge. And then Mark Andrews, man. Mark Andrews made at least 3 or 4 really key plays for us. I remember that one where Lamar was rolling out and then threw across his body, which scares me. You know, you never want to throw across your body, but Lamar made it happen, got Andrews. Andrews broke like 2 tackles for like a 30-yard gain, and then Mark Andrews getting 2 touchdowns. I mean, he absolutely balled today. Todd Monken said earlier in the week that this is the first week that they've seen Mark Andrews look full speed, and that showed up in the game today. I mean, Mark Andrews is the Mark Andrews we've always known and loved, and we needed it. Huge performance by him, huge performance by Lamar. Tyler Linderbaum coming back today really solidified the interior, and I thought the offensive line really just was able to keep getting better as that game went. And we're not going to have an easier task next week with a defensive line because we got TJ Watt and Highsmith, and I mean, it doesn't get easier where these division battles are going to be tough. But just to be able to get through the Browns, especially when the rest of the division took a loss. So everyone in the AFC North took a loss today except for Baltimore, and that's huge. We have sole possession of first place in the AFC North and control our own destiny for the rest of the season. We get another win in Pittsburgh next week. We'll be 3-0 in the division, all on the road, and it just doesn't get much better than that. I wish we wouldn't have lost to the Colts last week. We should be 4-0, but it's nice to be 3-1 and 2-0 in the division with another opponent coming next week in the division who's also hobbled. Hopefully we can get Ronnie Stanley back or, you know, get a guy or 2 back. I don't think that the rest of the injuries are long-term or they would have went on IR. Ojabo obviously is out for a month, but signing Kyle Van Noy kind of replaces that void a little bit. And I thought Van Noy stepped in and made some plays. I'll be excited to dive in deeper to the film just to see how involved he was, but he flashed a couple times earlier in the game. And like I said, Jadeveon Clowney's just wrecking. Strong game from Michael Pierce, Travis Jones, obviously Roquan Smith and Patrick Queen just all over the place. Kyle Hamilton all over the place. Brandon Stevens got an interception. I didn't even talk about that, but Mullet tipped the ball. Stevens was able to come down with it on the ground and have a huge return early in the game, which I think kind of got some life in our offense. Our offense was looking absolutely stagnant at the beginning of this game, and then Stevens took that ball back to Cleveland's 10, and Lamar had that rushing touchdown. I think it kind of ignited this offense just to get some points on the board, and even though it was a really short drive, it seemed to kind of roll a lot better after that. Just a great win. I gained a little trust back after last week. I was talking last week after the Colts game. I was like, man, I still believe in this team, but I lost some trust in the offense, just how inconsistent they are. And they were having a really, really sluggish start in this game. But, man, the way they were able to turn it around, I just think that this offense is still growing. I think that this offense, and obviously they're missing a bunch of guys, you know what I mean? Missing Rashad Bateman and Odell Beckham Jr. is huge. Shout out to Aguilar and Duvernay, but they're not Bateman and Odell. And I think once we get everyone back, as long as we can stay healthy, that's definitely a big if. But once we get everyone back, I think this offense can really start building some chemistry and really start rolling and hopefully gain some consistency. That's my biggest fear right now is we're just inconsistent. You know, we could go next week and we can't block a thing and we have no time and the offense looks terrible. Like that could happen, you know, in the coming weeks, and I wouldn't be shocked. So I think we just need to stack some games, stack some momentum, kind of like 2019. We were off to a sluggish start in 2019, and then it seemed like that Seattle game on, we were just rolling, man. The offense was clicking on all cylinders, and the team was clicking on all cylinders, and I'm kind of waiting for that momentum, those games to start stacking. Because overall, we're 3-1. We're off to an incredible start. We have full control of the AFC North, and the sky's the limit. We've heard all the players say that, and it's true. This team has so much room to grow and so much room to get better. And today was just another step forward, a great step forward, and I've definitely regained some trust. I'm really happy with how they played today. 28-3 against the number one defense in the league, a division rival. It's sweet, man. It feels good. Let me know some of your thoughts about the game. Who stood out? Who were you surprised by? And what's your outlook on this team moving forward now? Are you feeling more confident after this win than last week? Because I know after last week and throughout this whole week, people weren't feeling great. But that was a strong showing in the division. And I know we were going against a rookie quarterback, and it probably would have went a little bit better for Cleveland with Watson out there. I think even if Watson would have been out there, even healthy, I think we still win this game just based off how we played. But they would have played better. I mean, I admit that. The rookie quarterback just looked lost, and I felt for him, you know what I mean? It looked like that was his first game ever. And our defense was definitely making him pay and not showing any mercy, but that's how it should be. That's the NFL. And that's a rival division game, and Cleveland was looking good this year, and we had to come in and make a statement, and I think we did that. So let me know your thoughts below. Appreciate you guys tuning in to another episode of the Flock Rundown. Have a beautiful rest of your day, and I'll talk to you guys next time.
Motionless brainwaves attempt to swim their way to sense. Can't